Alright, this week our topic is about beauty pageants and competitions and just drag in general. A lot of times when new drag queens start out, they're not capable of doing their own makeup or their own hair. In fact, a lot of times the newer a girl, the more people needed to put her together. Somebody's doing her nails, somebody's doing her shoes, somebody's doing her hair, and it's kind of funny because the more professional, or the more, not professional, but the more experienced you get, you do everything yourself. You do your own makeup, your own hair, your own everything. The only thing when I travel alone a lot for bookings, and a lot of times I'm just like, Rocco Terrain Strangers, can you zip this real quick? I mean, because I do everything myself. And that's what you need to be a successful entertainer, is to not rely on everyone. But as far as beauty pageant, I think that's when the lines get crossed a little bit. Yes, you are being judged on your overall appearance, your hair, and your makeup, but you're also being judged on your poise, your ability to model, the ability to be captivating and get an audience's attention. But I do understand the point of, wait a minute, she's not doing her own hair and makeup and she might win this pageant. Because if they do book the winner of Miss Florida or whatever, and she shows up and she doesn't have that makeup artist, she's not gonna look the same. Now, I can see both sides of that equation, and I understand both sides. I have never had anyone do my makeup in my life, except for one girl has done my makeup twice, and both times was for a pageant. And to be completely honest with you, both times I did not like it, for different reasons. One time she took my eyes really far out, one time she took my eyes really far up. And I didn't like it. I felt weird because it wasn't me doing my own makeup. And since then, I've always done my own makeup. But I've always done my own hair. However, for pageants, I am not above hiring somebody to do hair for me. Now, when we're talking about a national pageant, like for example, Miss Continental, and I'm speaking of Miss Continental because I've been to Chicago and I have competed for Miss Continental before, and I will again. With Miss Continental, you literally have minutes to transform from one category into the other. Minutes. Like literally, the 10 contestants are lined up. There's 10 in your group. And the 10 in your group go swimsuit competition, and then when the contestant number 10 is going, number 1 is next with evening gown. What? Literally, a lot of girls wear their swimsuits under their evening gowns because you literally go that fast. And you don't have time to change your hair or makeup. So in that situation, 900% yes, you need a very skilled and talented hair and makeup artist to be there with you, to look at you and be like, oh bitch, you smudged your this, or let me fix that, or let me smooth out your hair, or let me fix this for you. And yes, you absolutely do need that. But I do understand the point where if you don't know how to do your own hair and makeup, but again, you have to start somewhere. Everyone has to start somewhere, and most drag queens don't start off knowing how to paint. There's a drag queen in Miami, I'm not going to say her name, but when she first started, she only did beauty pageants. Only did pageants. Pageant. And then I started booking her for things for shows, and she couldn't do them unless she could bring somebody to do her makeup. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, I don't know how to put my own face. Well, she eventually had to learn because she wasn't able to do these bookings unless she did do her own makeup. So it is tricky. If you do only pageants and people do your hair and makeup for you, are you able to perform and represent yourself? So absolutely, I definitely think you should learn to do your own hair and makeup no matter what. But I don't see anything wrong with hiring a professional makeup artist to do your makeup for a pageant so you're extra beautiful. And a lot of times, like for example, I grew up very, very poor. We were so poor. 7 kids on a pastor's income, like literally poor. Like we would eat pancakes every day for like a month because that's all we could afford. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, fucking pancakes. Or one month it'd be oatmeal, and we'd have oatmeal every day. And I hated it. And to this day, I don't even like pancakes. I might have a bite or two if somebody's eating them, but I really will not order them. I do not like them. I do not want them. But speaking from a person that is poor, a lot of times going to like church camp For example, I'm going out of town, I'm going to a special event, I'm going to a special booking. A lot of times we want to wear something that isn't ours. For example, if a friend of mine lent me a sweatshirt, it doesn't matter what name brand that sweatshirt is, or even if it's new or old, I would feel extra special, like a goddess. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm wearing Steven's sweatshirt at church camp. I'm gonna look so cool. But the reality is, you just feel cool because it's like that sweatshirt has superpowers. And it just gives you an extra boost of confidence. And you're able to sell that garment because you feel a really cool person at my school let me borrow this sweatshirt and he's awesome, so that means the sweatshirt's awesome. And it's kind of like that when you do beauty pageants. If you hire the girl that does my hair and makeup for me, well, I do my own makeup, but the girl that makes sure my hair, everything's put together and will do my hair many times is Noelle. And when I go to a pageant, I don't even need a mirror. I know I do my makeup in the hotel room and then I go down for the pageant and she just makes sure everything is smooth and polished throughout the night. And I can go on that stage knowing and believing and trusting in her because I know she's not going to do me wrong. And that way I can go on stage and have that magical confidence of Noelle put me together. Bitch, I look sickening. Even if I have no idea, I could be rotted. And that's what you need. So I'm not going to say it's a bad thing. I definitely will hire Noelle or some hair designer to go with me for future pageants just to make sure everything is flawless and amazing. But I'm able to do them myself as well. So I don't know. The question is, what are our thoughts on these new queens that need a team of people to put them together? For example, pageants. If you need a team of queens to put you together for a show, that's kind of dumb. I mean, for example, I do my Tranny Pal show on Sundays. I allow 10 girls in the show, 5 cast girls, and then I have 5 guests. And when a guest shows up and like, we don't allow people backstage that are not in the show. No boyfriends, no dates, no friends. A lot of times people think, oh, I'm friends with the drag queens, I'm cool, I can come backstage. And this is not a VIP party. You don't get to hang out backstage because you're cool. But a lot of times people need help. And sometimes I'm like, bitch, go get ready in the bathroom if you need 3 people to do your hair for you. Or do your makeup at home before you come to work. But I mean, obviously, if you're like, for example, if a theme is Wicked, and you're turning from Dorothy into Alphaba and you need somebody to help you paint your whole body green, that's of course a special situation. And those things have been modified and allowed. But in general, at drag shows, I don't even allow people to bring help and assistance. Like, girl, come on. But yeah, I do think that when I first started, I definitely needed, it's funny because I showed up with the biggest, every show, like a huge toolbox of makeup that I brought to every show, and I thought I needed it. And then like after a year, I would look at the eyeshadows and be like, I've never used 3/4 of these eyeshadows. So now I just narrowed it down to like the 3 or 4 that I use, and that's what I really bring around with me. All the makeup I wear is like on my little counter here. And that could easily be packed up and taken with me wherever I want to go. And I don't need people to put me together. Yes, of course, if somebody's there and I need a zip, hi, can you zip me up? That's different. And sometimes people help to, buckle shoes or whatever. But in general, I don't need them to feel beautiful and I don't need them to be polished or put together. So, my thoughts. I understand both sides. Yes, I think it's not fair that you could win a beauty pageant and then you're booked during your reign and you're not able to pull off that look because your team's not there to put you together. But at the same token, I don't think it's wrong to hire people to put you together for pageants. Anyways, that was Misty Eyez, living news easy.